What up, you crazy people? Welcome back to another Tuesday edition of the Havana Lounge podcast. I am your man, Mellow Man Ace. And as you can see, I'm joined today by the Grammy-nominated, electric, fantastic, amazing, beautifully talented Lupita Infante. And it's a great pleasure to have you, my friend.
Thank you.
No, it is. It is.
Thank you.
No, thank you for coming out and doing this. I know you got a hectic tour schedule. You just sang the National Anthem at Dodger Stadium.
Yes.
You sang Happy Birthday to Dave Roberts, I understand.
That was really cool. That was like the highlight of this month.
Sure, sure. Yeah, that's definitely got to be like a bucket list thing, right?
And you know, they didn't really tell me beforehand. It was just kind of like the same day, like, can you also sing Happy Birthday to Dave Roberts? And I'm like, can I? Like, oh yes, I can.
Big baseball girl?
Not super huge, but I am married to a big Dodger fan.
Okay.
Like annoyingly big Dodger fan.
Sure.
Where it's like I get ignored, you know, all through like September, October.
Yeah, he's a good Dodger fan then. He's a really good one.
Yes, he is. And so I've grown to like, you know, get to know all the players and I got to do the home opening night too. So that
What's that feeling like? ¿Cómo se siente eso cuando tú estás adentro del estadio, estás en el terreno y te toca cantar a 35,000 personas, 45,000 personas?
That was amazing. Amazing. Because they also had the jets flying.
Oh my goodness.
And they had the like fireworks. And then it was just like so epic.
Amazing.
And I was just like, yes.
Were you thinking, I hope I don't forget a lyric here?
Oh my gosh.
Does that happen?
Yes. I mean, it happens, but when you're doing the national anthem, I feel like you better not let that happen.
Oh, of course. Right.
But I feel like that, you know, anxiousness that's going to happen, it's there.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't really sing it a lot in the house. Like you're not singing around your house the national anthem. Oh, say, you know what I mean? Right? So how much practice and rehearsal time did you put in?
I didn't even have time to rehearse. But the cool thing is that they make you rehearse with so Dieter is the organist.
Yeah.
Or musical director, organist. So you practice with him like face to face.
Sure.
And then you go down on the field and then you practice again, except it's not on the loudspeakers.
Okay.
And then you feel pretty good about it because you're like, okay, I did it once, I did it twice. But then, you know, you stand at the bottom of the LA sign and then the camera's like right there. And then you're like, oh, okay. Like, I think if it's, you know, sold out full capacity, there's 52,000 souls in there. So it's like you feel that.
Yeah.
You feel
electric.
The pressure. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Guys, we're right here with the one and only Lupita Infante. My God, that's a dope story. Let's take it back a little bit because you're a LA native, right? You're one of ours, and we're happy to have you and uplift you. You're a beautiful soul, talented. You come from a musical family, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Tell us about your upbringing and where you came up at, and tell me. Well, go ahead. Tell me first, and then I'll add a second part to that.
So I was born in Bellflower, you know, not too far from here. We were in Huntington Park for a little bit, and then we moved to Downey, and I kind of been in Downey ever since.
Where'd you go to high school?
Downey High School.
Is that right?
So I think I represent Downey. That's like my hometown now because I've been there so many years. And music is in my family or in my blood and la sangre.
Talk about it.
And so I mean, when people hear the last name Infante, they automatically associate it with Pedro Infante, and they ask me like, "Oh, is there a relation?" And then I'm like, "Yes," and then depending on who it is, I'll be like, it's my grandfather, and if it's like an older lady or sometimes even younger ladies, they'll be like, "Oh, that was my boyfriend."
Wow.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, grandpa.
Yeah, I'll be
Abuelito.
like,
Okay.
or I'll
Yeah.
call if it's like a girl, I'll be like, oh, okay, grandma. Like,
Yeah.
and so, so Pedro Infante, for those people who don't know, he was an actor, singer, just all around performer in the 1940s and 50s. He died in 1957 in this tragic airplane accident. And my dad was 7 years old when my grandfather passed away. And that's my connection. So I'm the granddaughter because of my dad.
Sure.
And, so I always grew up knowing the story, watching the films, hearing stories from my dad or from people who had met him. And that's kind of how I've learned about Pedro Infante.
Sure.
And then my dad, so my dad passed away in 2009, but
Condolences
I also,
on both.
thank you. And I grew up watching him on the stage, and he was also an actor. And I would watch him in his movies, and I swear, like, he would die, like, in every film. And I would be, like, so heartbroken.
Sure.
And it was just
like, Dad, why are you taking all these roles where he died? Yeah.
I was like, why did my dad die? And my mom would be like, oh no, it's okay, it's just a movie. And then watching him on stage is where I got my I think my inspiration to have that same connection with the stage and the connection with people. And I think a lot of the times, like I'm so in my own path and writing my own music and doing my thing and just being in the moment and in the present. But I think when I really, kind of sit down and like take a look at all of it from like a bigger scope, I'm like, that my life and my music, it's always going to be almost like this, like an homage to my family line and to my grandfather and to my father. And I think it's something really beautiful, unique.
Absolutely.
Just because everything that he means to our culture, to people, to families. A lot of times I'll meet somebody and they'll tell me like, oh, like every Sunday we used to sit down in the living room and we would watch películas de Pedro Infante. And like, that's every time I think about Pedro Infante, I think about, my family. And that's really beautiful. And to really be able to be a part of that somehow.
Sure.
And pay homage to all of that, because it's a lot. It's beautiful.
Guys, you're right here with the one and only Lupita Infante. What a beautiful story, beautiful history. Your family, very talented family. I uplift you, sister. I uplift you. I love that you took the time to be here with us today. We're not done. We're not done. I'm not chasing you by any means. I just gotta give a little shout out to my sponsors, real quick, and then we'll keep keeping on with Lupita. I just want to thank my sponsors, AV Chevy at Antelope Valley Chevy. My man Justin down there. If you need a nice Corvette, Tahoe, anything they got down there, go see my man Justin, and he'll take care of you. And guys, don't forget my newest sponsor, Sterling Images. When you need your wedding pictures and all these other things like that, your party pictures, reach out to them. And also daily ads when you need your artwork for your album, Lupita. You can reach out to them And by let me not leave out people. Cilantro Lime, downtown LA restaurant. That have the Mellow Man Ace inspired torta that you're gonna love. And like I always say, it's got everything except alligator meat in that thing, and you're gonna love it. But guys, let's get back to the one and only right here, Lupita. Um, okay, so Downey, you went to Downey High School. I grew up in Southgate, right down the road.
Really close by.
Yeah, yeah, we used to go to Downey and go to the Stonewood Mall back in the days. Um, 2 years ago, you get nominated. You got two nominations
Mhm.
for Grammys. I've never been nominated for a Grammy, so girlfriend, tell me what that feels like when you get that call. Who called you, Brenda? Who called you? Your manager?
It was my managers who called me. They do like this TV announcement, or I don't know what you have to tune into, but you can watch it. And I didn't tune in because I mean, I wasn't even thinking like, oh, like let me tune in because I know I have a feeling. Like I had like no feeling. I had no idea. The album that got nominated for the Grammy was kind of put together in a way where it's like kind of like in pieces, you know, like
Okay.
it wasn't like, okay, I'm putting together this album and this is all like I didn't think it through as much as I wish I could have. It just kind of came together with the work and effort of like a few friends and my management and you know, I just didn't think that it was gonna get nominated. And when I got that call, I was just shocked and like I remember they're like, "You're nominated," and I was just like, "For what?" you know, like
Sure.
and then I was like, "Oh my God, like that's incredible to get that recognition."
Mm-hmm.
And it still feels really good that, you know, I was nominated up there with the greats.
Now, did you go to the actual show? Did you do attend?
Um, I was part of the pre it's like a pre-telecast ceremony
Mm-hmm.
and I was giving awards, you know, but everything was online because it was pandemic times.
Right. Damn
I
pandemic.
know.
Yeah.
I know. But, you know, I'm still happy that
Yeah. No,
yeah.
you were there.
Yeah.
You were in the moment.
And it was incredible. But yeah, I wish I would have gone to the I mean, I wish it would have been like the full experience
Sure.
too,
Of
but
course. Of course. That's awesome, and I gotta salute that. Yeah, it's a big deal. You know, L.A. native, Bellflower. You know what I'm saying? Um, to come out and be able to be thought of in that fashion.
hmm
It has to be a highlight for sure, right? Of your
oh
career. One
yeah.
of the highlights of
Oh
your
yeah.
career, right?
Yeah, definitely. Even still today, you know, every time somebody says like, "Oh, Grammy nominated," it's like
Absolutely. No, that's a
it's
title
special.
that you run with,
Oh yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
You go with that, beat it into the grave, you know what I mean? Nah, for sure. That's a
Yeah.
big deal. Any way you slice that cake. Um, tell me this. What are you working on a new album at the moment? What are you working on?
So, as of the end of last year and then into this year, I signed with Sony Music Latin.
Get down.
So that was, you know, that's another achievement. And so far, we've released the first single, which is Hazme Tuya, and it's all like mariachi music. So I sing mariachi music with a little, you know, fusion here and there of other Mexican instruments and other genres. And so the last year I spent, you know, just writing new songs with different co-authors and um, just doing co-writes. And I went, you know, to different cities in Mexico and worked with different people. So now taking those songs and, you know, seeing which ones like I really connect with and which ones I know that my people are going to connect with. and we've been producing some of them out, and I'm so excited. I just have to like sit down long enough to record everything,
Yeah.
the lead vocals, and hopefully that'll happen in like the next couple days. And yeah, it's beautiful music. It's beautiful
Get
music.
down.
It really is.
Guys, Hazme Tuya, Make Me Yours. That's a dope title. I really like
Yeah.
that. I gotta check that out. Um, I when I knew I was gonna get you in the studio and have you here, I was thinking, I have a son, a couple sons, and one of them turned out to be a music producer, right?
Hmm.
So for you, I mean, do you feel like you have to live up to your grandfather and your father's thing, or is you something that you're more comfortable in your own skin to just set your own path?
I definitely feel more comfortable in my own skin, because once you start getting into that realm of like, I gotta live up to this name, and you open yourself up to like, oh, the comparisons. And then there's people that tell me like, oh, I don't like your music, or you're not that good, or you'll never be as good as your grandfather. Like there's rude
Wow,
people out there,
wow,
um
yeah,
leave,
bastards.
yeah, leaving comments like that, and it's cool,
Yeah, take
like,
the good with the bad,
yeah.
right?
And then there's people who like really love what I'm doing, and then there's like one or two girls that have, even in the last month, that came up to me and just gave me gifts and were so appreciative of like, thank you for making music. And I'm like, well, you're welcome. Like, I'm so glad it, reaches you in that way. Um, so yeah, I try not to. Ha- I don't know if your son feels like he has to live up
I don't know
to.
how he feels. I've never asked him. But his uncle is Send Dog of Cypress Hill, and you know, I'm not too shabby either. And I've never asked him. I really haven't. But tell me this. You've been on the road. We talked a little bit prior to coming on the air.
Hmm.
Um, you've touched down now. You were on a small run there. You hit. You said you started in Washington. You went to San Jose. Then you did, I believe you said Colorado. Yeah.
So we started in Washington D.C., but that was more with the Recording Academy. So with the Grammys, they invited me, um, and that was really a whole different thing for me. That I've never been part of this process where you go to Congress and you're like an advocate. So we were there for um, all the music creators, trying to you know convince some congressmen and women that we need their support and they should sign on the
We
on
need our
these.
royalties. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think people know this, but um like in the US, they don't pay artists any royalties for songs that are played on the radio unless you wrote the song. So for example, I have White Christmas, and it gets played on like K Love every year,
Hmm.
but then I'll never get paid for it. And the crazy thing is, we're like one of the only countries who doesn't pay artist
Yeah. I mean,
royalties.
that's I. First of all, I salute you for doing that because as artists, we know where our money comes from. It's written on the back of those statements when we get them from either ASCAP or are you with ASCAP?
BMI.
Yeah, BMI, right?
Yeah.
It's written there. We know where Afghanistan plays my music, and places like I would have never thought, right?
Hmm.
And I'm sure you're no different. So we know where our money's coming from, but we also know where it's not coming from,
Yeah.
right? And so we
Yeah.
have to do better um, in here in America with that part of it. So I commend you on that. I mean, that's big time.
Yeah,
It's big time.
it's important because we want to make sure that people can make a living off of, their craft. So that was very different for me. And
So yeah, you were
that
with the
was,
Recording Academy on this one, right? On that particular project,
yeah, they invited me and I was like, really? You want me?
the
Like, okay.
RIAA.
But it was perfect, because I can personally relate and tell them, like,
Yeah,
guys, like, and it was during my Grammy nomination where I was like, I'm so broke. I have a song like on the radio during Christmas, and I'm nominated, and people think like, oh, like she's doing so incredible, and then behind the scenes you're like struggling, and then um something simple like that can really help you out and
absolutely.
help you, because it gets hard, so you want to make
It
sure you
does.
can
It
keep
does.
going.
When I remember when I came into the business, we were recording on 2-inch reels at that time, and you used to get on average, if you had a really good record deal, you get $6 on every sale, right? And then the retailers and the wholesalers and the record company divvy up the rest. They say a CD sold for $17.99.
Hmm.
You got a good deal was $6, really good deal. If you didn't have a really good deal, it was about $3.
Mm.
Um, I say that to say this, that there became a time where we were living these lavish lifestyles when we had these $6 a unit per unit sold, and then it became when music turned digital,
Hmm.
right? They pancaked it, they squashed it down, made it in CD format and all these other things, and then digital, right? Um, where we had to scale back our lives because now instead of $6, we were getting 99 cents. So I know for me, I had to downscale from a 4-bedroom house to a 3-bedroom house. You know what I mean? And really go, well, wait a minute, how many cars do I really need? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and so I remember that. So the fact that you became an advocate for that, I salute you, I
Oh,
commend you, and I
thank you.
uplift you for that because you're speaking for me too,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for every artist who wasn't there. You know what I mean? Enough
Yeah.
respect.
And
Respect.
another bill is also for the big companies, Amazon, Spotify, Apple, for them to also pay a fair royalty rate for artists is another bill too. So, and it's exactly what you're talking about, so that we don't get paid 0.000 like 2 cents.
Exactly. Excuse me. When you get your song spun on, let's say, a video, right? A music video on YouTube, there's another raping of a higher level there.
Hmm.
Let's say you have a song go viral. Like, let's take, for instance, Pharrell Williams when he did Happy, the
Hmm.
song Happy,
Hmm.
his biggest record,
Huge.
huge, right? I mean, this thing was bigger than Michael Jackson tracks and stuff like that. And when I found out what he actually got, I was like, you got to go up there and, you know what I mean? Baseball bat, YouTube or something, man. I'm not advocating for, you know what I mean? But realistically, he
Yeah.
got reamed. I believe he got something like $33,000, but he had
Mm.
over like a godzillion amount of spins, you know?
Which is insane. And that's like pop music, the music that gets the most spins. Like, I'm in an obscure genre. And
Likewise here.
so it's even harder for those other genres. So,
Sure.
but, well, we're trying. Everyone's trying it. And the
Absolutely.
Recording Academy is doing their part, and they're really going after it. So I'm really happy that, they have our backs.
Absolutely. Now, tell me, where else are you going to go now when you get back out on the road where they can
So
see you at?
we're gonna go to San Diego, San Jose. Um, like kind of the whole summer, so we'll be in Grand Rapids, Michigan,
Wow.
and Chicago. It looks like Sacramento. So there's a few. Oh, in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So
Okay.
I'm doing a few of like these mariachi conferences that happen where you know kids from, I guess, all over the country go and they learn with the best mariachi musicians.
Yeah.
And then at the end of this like conference, there'll be a concert extravaganza, and then I've been performing at some of those, which is really incredible.
Dope.
And so there's some of that, and then there are just like other shows that are just for fun,
Yeah.
which are also great.
Now tell me this: how many people do you travel with in your entourage?
Okay, so this is the cool part, and also very, very hard to tour with a mariachi. Because if you're trying to tour with a 13-piece mariachi, like that's
There goes your
impossible.
show money. Yes, exactly. You can say it.
Yeah.
By the time you divvy that check, it's like, man.
Yeah, I think you have to pay to play if you're going to go that route.
Right.
Unless you're one of these top artists, right? But the cool thing is that you can find mariachis like almost in every state. So what I've been doing is traveling just with like my management team, and then we get the music to the mariachi groups
That are already there in
that are
town.
there. They learn it, which is it's a lot of work, but they learn it, and it's a good experience because you get to have that time with them, and they're local, and you get to meet different groups and see how the that culture is presented, in different
Mhm.
ways.
So then all you do is basically you come into town, they come see you, and you guys get together and do a small run through. Is that
Yeah,
safe
yeah,
to say?
yeah. We do the run through, and then they usually everyone's so good, they knock it out and they learn all my music, and it so far it's been really good, and it's working
Hell,
out so far.
yeah, we bringing more money home. I ain't
Yes.
mad at you, girl. I ain't mad at you. Because at the height of our, you know, let's say fame or, when you're up there, what I learned and I didn't sign up for was that when we're at the top of our game, we're only bringing home about, and I've done the math, about 50 to 55% of our money, only. When you think about manager, 10%, 15%, your lawyer, your accountant, your agent, our friends at the IRS, 10%. You start counting all these people, and then you got family members coming out of the woodwork. I'm your little late cousin that you never knew. Can I get $5,000 for a little car?
Yeah.
Right? You got all these things going on. Meanwhile, we're looking and we're going, wait a minute, I have to condense this
That's so
and I have to be
true.
smarter here
Yeah.
because some things can get away from us. It's a tough life, one that we love. Yes.
Hmm.
I assume that you love what you do.
Yeah, it's an incredible lifestyle and I don't know if it's meant for everyone because it's so unpredictable and it's not stable, but if you can ride that wave, it's so much fun.
I always say that being creative is an act of God
Hmm.
because you wake up, you create something and make money from a raw
Yeah,
idea
yeah,
and you're creating it's a creation an act of God, I said, and in your case an act of goddess. Yes.
yes.
So yo, enough respect. I love what you're doing. Tell me this, why mariachi?
I think it just, my family background, and then it was kind of what was close to me when I went on my music journey. Because I mean, I could have done like norteño or banda, but I just knew so many mariachi groups, and
Mhm.
they knew my dad too, and it just seemed like a natural fit, and I just kind of stuck to it, even before it started becoming popular again, and then here we are. I don't know, like 15 something years later, and still doing the mariachi thing, and like yeah, thank God now it's become something that I could say is like my job, and
Absolutely.
it's amazing. And yeah, so it's been amazing. I think one of the most beautiful experiences I've had is performing at the Mariachi USA Festival, which is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah,
and
Brenda has told me about it.
and coming up June 18th. I'm not performing this year, but I'll be there in the audience.
Okay.
Um, there's a talent search that's been going on, so I've been like the ambassador of the talent
Look at
search,
you. Get down.
And for people like me who have that dream, like who want to perform at these incredible venues, um, yeah, the Jarritos is making someone's dream come true. They're gonna get to perform, so I'm gonna be there clapping in the audience for that lucky person who
Good
who
deal.
wins, and that's also exciting too because it's that new generation that's gonna keep the music alive too.
Yeah. And now you're like a badass. So it's like you get to, see the future
Oh yeah.
of the game
Oh
a little
yes.
bit now and,
Yes.
and, and
Yes.
sit back and go in your rocking chair like, yeah, I'm that one right now. I'm chilling. No, it's a good look. It's a good look for you. Um, I'm just so happy that you came through and spent time with me and kicked it a little bit. Guys, you've been tuned into the Havana Lounge podcast with the one and only, the Grammy nominated singer-songwriter Lupita Infante. And must I add, she is as beautiful in person as she is on those record covers. Um, so trust and believe it's real. Get a ticket, go see the show, and enjoy the sounds of Lupita Infante. Um, for those of my viewers that
Hmm.
may not know a lot about you, which is rare, but can you let them know where to find you, your social medias, and stuff like that?
Yeah, so you can find me well, I'm always on Instagram. I'm like
Okay.
logged on there 24/7 reading all the comments, all the good and bad and the ugly. So you can find me on Instagram at Lupita Infante XOXO, and you can find me everywhere else with the same name, but if you want to like reach me and connect, I'm always on
Get
Instagram.
down.
Yeah.
Tell me this. I've noticed that Snoop Dogg lately has been taking a big interest in our music. Would you ever consider doing a Snoop Dogg record with Snoop Dogg and blending and fusing
Oh yeah.
mariachi with hip hop or rap?
That'd be so cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there is a way to make it work and make it seamless because I've like tried it and I've messed around with different sounds and beats and pop elements and mixing it in. And I think it could definitely work. And I think, that's kind of where everything is heading. I feel that you hear it more and more now. All the
Yeah.
fusions and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Those records are turning out to be really big,
Mhm.
big deals. You know, really
Yeah.
big deals. Last year they dropped one with I forget the name of the group.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Banda MS.
There we go. Yeah, and
And
that thing
Snoop.
was in everybody's soup in the caldo in the morning. You know what I mean? And I
Yes.
was like, wow, Snoop Dogg is really doing it. Like,
That was
and
really
I was like,
good.
hey, Bondi MS, me and Kid Frost are still over here. We got next. You know what I mean? We really know how to speak this Spanish. But no, that would be a dope look for you, and I'm rooting for you to do that one day. Um, Lupita, I've had a great time having you here. I know you have probably other things to get to, and so do I, but I just want to say it's been a pleasure and a great honor to have you. You seem like an amazing woman, going for
Oh, thank you.
yours, doing your thing, living your best life, and that I salute.
Thank you so much for this time and this space. And hello to all of the viewers.
Yeah. You
And
want to send a shout out to your mom or anybody?
yes, hi to my beautiful mom. She works for LAUSD. So she's out there right now hustling. So, hi, mom. I love you. And yeah, see you at home.
Right on. Guys, you've been locked in with the Havana Lounge podcast. I am your boy, Mellow Man Ace. She has been Lupita Infante. A sheer pleasure. Guys, remember, I'm blown away. I'm blown away by your whole get down. But guys, remember that in the words of the great Curtis Mayfield, remember that your dream is your only scheme. So keep on pushing and move on up. I'm Mellow Man Ace. This has been the Havana Lounge podcast. Thank you.
Gracias.
Peace.